Let's see. We're on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Brian Tarian from the Disability Digest and Jam, who will soon have her camera on. Welcome to our Wednesday YouTube live event.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Great to be with you. If you are thinking about applying for your disability benefits or have applied, waiting, applied, denied, somewhere in the approval process, I expect you are going to be delighted with what we're going to share with you today, because you're going to be the very first people to get the new and improved version of our Social Security Disability Approval course. That's been revised. So we're going to talk about that. So if you're new here, and this is the first time you're looking at this or joining a live, welcome. We do these weekly, although next week, no live. I will be flying and will not have access. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Right. So, Jam, thanks for joining. As always, I appreciate your assistance in getting this going. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to go through and lay out the whole new approval process strategy that we have. And then we're going to take some individual questions that I see are pouring in out there. And that's what we have on tap. And of course, if you're approved here, welcome. Thanks for joining. Perhaps you'll pick up a nugget of information, or you can share this with somebody that's out there. So getting started, a little history on what's gone on here at the Disability Digest. We have had a two-part strategy to help people get approved that's been in place really since we started, and we provide a Social Security Disability Approval course that has been put together with industry experts like Attorney Jonathan Ginsburg, Attorney Carl Osterhow, ex-Social Security employee Barbara Mountain, and a lot of success stories from members and a few of the nuggets of information that I've learned along the way. So with that course, it teaches you what to do and what not to do to get through the process. And it's worked, I would say, fine. And we've delivered the entire course to individuals, like all of the steps. And as you go through the disability approval process, there's really 4 key steps as you go through it. And there's a lot of information. So we've changed that, and I'm going to go through the details with you. The second part of our strategy here at the Disability Digest is you have the opportunity to speak to an advocate, a disability representative, somebody who's worked and helped people get approved for quite some time. And they can go through and speak to you about your case and help you understand 4 very important things about it. One is if you have a chance of getting approved, because if it's a case that we discuss with you and we look at and we talk to you about, and we say, hey, you know what, we'd be willing to work on that and help you win, then at least you know you've got a shot at winning, because we know our win rate, and it's definitely above 85%. Second thing is we can oftentimes help you uncover additional evidence. Like I just had a conversation with a member prior to this where he had applied before, didn't put in certain information that could have strengthened his case, things like that. And there could be a situation where you speak with us and we're like, you know what? I don't think you can get approved. I mean, you're missing treatment, you're missing a diagnosis, you haven't been out of work long enough. It could be a bunch of variables that oftentimes can be fixed. But it's not probably what you want to hear, but that is possible. And the last key thing that you'd learn from speaking to somebody here as part of our strategy is that what it's like to have the work done for you so that you can concentrate on your health. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to like watch the mail for all letters. You maximize your chances of winning. So To recap here at the Disability Digest, there's a two-part strategy. You can do it on your own with a course, which I'm going to show you in a minute, or you can have it done for you if we are a fit to work with each other. And that's it. But the other side of it is we can't work, or we choose not to work with everybody, and we only are built to manage and represent like 20 cases a month, and we have like 25 people a day that join here. So that's where the course comes in and helps people out. So again, I see the numbers are piling in. We're going to take your individual questions. We're just giving you an update on our strategy and how we help people get approved here at the Disability Digest and our new revised Social Security Disability Approval course. All right. So here's how it works. And all you people in the back of the room, you can move a little closer. There's plenty of room, a lot of front seats. Kind of sounds like church, doesn't it? Although they don't do that at church. They should do that at church because everybody sits in the back, at least the one I've been. All right. So with the disability approval course, how it works is you come, you join us as a member, there's no charge. You fill out your evaluation, and it helps us understand that you're trying to get approved for your disability benefits, and you have the opportunity to speak to an advocate. They'll assess your situation, figure out where you're at in the process. And you'll be sent when after the advocate starts the course for you, you'll be sent this introduction page here that will help you understand who the contributors are to the course. Attorney Osterhow, Attorney Ginsburg, Barb Mountain, and then you'll get the opportunity to listen to some success stories from those that have used the course. Now, the course is broken down into segments. It's got 4 parts getting through, and we hope to get everybody to part 5, which means that you're approved. So let's say you join us and you have not applied yet. You haven't done a thing. You're just getting started. So when you speak to the advocate, they'll assess your situation, give you a few tips, and they'll start this disability approval course, step 1, which is how to apply. They'll also provide you with some information, if it's applicable and we have it, on condition-specific information that will help you. For example, if you have musculoskeletal issues, we will send you information that will help you understand what aspects of that are going to help you get approved. Same for brain health, which could be depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar conditions like that. So in my example, or back to my example, the first part of the course that you would get is, whoops, I think this is what to do while you're working. I'm going to pivot a little bit here. We do have a section for those that aren't working, but the very first one that I'm going to go through is for those of you that have not applied. And this will help you understand what you need to do to apply. And it has a video at the top, walks you through the directions of what you need to do. And it shares with you over on the right-hand side people that have used this exact course to go through and get applied. So, for example, in the get started steps, some of the things that you'll have access to are like what to say. How do you explain that you qualify for your disability benefits in 2 sentences or less? This is super important because most people explain their conditions and not their limitations. You'll also understand other valuable information like what you need to prove. Right? For different people at different ages, you need to prove different things, also based on your work history. So it'll help you understand that. What you'll need to file your disability application, information you need, and then actually how to enter the information into the Social Security disability system. And again, this is for all of those of you that want to do this on your own. Now, if you join us and you're using a disability representative, and they're going to be doing this work for you, this is your directions, your benchmark, or what you can use to hold them accountable for doing the work right. So each one of these courses that I'm going to go through with you have their own unique resources. Once you apply for your disability benefits, you're going to be sent some paperwork from Social Security. And this 1B will help you understand how to fill out the paperwork. Then everybody is going to need to have evidence. That's what the whole premise of getting approved is. Even if you get denied at this initial application, you still need to work in your evidence because something didn't go right. So evidence can come in two key formats. Evidence is doctor support. They fill out a doctor support form confirming that you're being treated, what their opinion is on your limitations, and how those would impact your ability to work. That's item 2A right here that you see on the screen. Now, there's other evidence you can submit, like if you are a veteran and you have a VA rating, or you have testimonials from family, or you had workplace accommodations, or a inside tip that's very effective is a video that demonstrates your limitations. Let's say you have challenges walking, and that's preventing you from working, or you have mobility issues in your arms and shoulders, and you can show that, or your inability to lift a gallon of milk. Little video snips used by, you take your iPhone out, that's in 1B. It gives you some tips on how to do that. So I went into detail on this, how to apply, because it's the same strategy with the other lessons that we have, and it goes into detail. And the next one would be, I believe, this one right here. I have to adjust my screen because I've got another thing that's blocking it. That's what we just went over. The next one is when you've applied and waiting. A lot of people fall asleep at the wheel when they have applied and waiting. And there's definitely some things that you can do to impact your case, and things that you should not do based on our experience when you're waiting for your initial application decision. So that's what this step is. So if you come in, you join us, speak to an advocate, they're going to assign this to you. You can choose to go forward using this segment of the course, or again, using representation if you don't have it already. So the next step would be if you have been denied. If you've been denied your initial application, then you're going to need to file a reconsideration appeal. And these are the specific directions for the reconsideration appeal. Some things that I want to point out on this. In a reconsideration appeal, you have the opportunity to submit a statement as to why you qualify. Now, you do in your initial application, but it's a bit different here. And this segment explains the forms you need, what you should point out in the appeal, how to craft a statement, like a legal brief, a mini legal brief in layman's terms, that you can submit with your appeal. And then some expectations for the approval process. So this is the third step in the course that's been put together for you. And then the next step, if you don't get approved here, right, then it goes on to what you need to do or not do to prepare for your hearing, right? So these are the major steps. How the course works is you're assigned one at a time. I'm going to go back to the beginning here. And if you are assigned this, how to apply right here, at the bottom of each one of these segments, you'll have a contact form. So if you get approved, we definitely want to know, because we're going to take you from sending you information about how to get approved at the initial application stage. We'll send you information about what to do to review your award letter, keep your benefits, maximize your benefits. So you would come down here and you would fill in your name, your email, your phone number, and where you're at with the disability, with the course. Either you're approved or you were denied. So that's how you get to the next section. If you are denied, You fill that out, you're going to get back in touch with the advocate. They're going to find out what went wrong, maybe help you review your denial letter, and then assign you to the next step in the course, which would be your initial application was denied. Right. So that's the concept of the course. You have a segment, you get a decision, you contact us, you move on to the next. All right. So ultimately, is we want to get everybody to the approved stage, which is step 5. And then when you contact us and you come to step 5, these are some of the key things that we are going to teach you. How to review your award letter, how to get all that you're entitled to, like what do your back benefits look like, what do your back pay look like, when does your health insurance, your Medicare start, when are you going to be reviewed for your disability benefits, because once you're approved, you're subject to a review, how much you can make and keep your benefits. And then we have a benefit protection program, and I'm going to pause for a moment. I see a lot of people are piling in here. And thank you for joining in progress. If you joined us in progress, there'll be, you can listen to the replay. And in a few minutes, we're going to take some individual questions that you might have about either the new revised course or getting approved. So once you're approved, the benefit protection program works like this. Disability recipients are reviewed on a periodic basis, 18 months, 3 years, 5 years, all the way up until your full retirement age. And 20% of recipients are being reviewed annually. And about 144,000 people a year will end up having their benefits denied. So what we do here is we offer a benefit protection program where we help you protect your benefits. And it works like this. When you become eligible for your disability benefits, you're also Medicare eligible. And as a licensed insurance agents here, we can review your Medicare options, how they interface with your doctor's treatment, with your medication, with your check amount, all the other variables that go on. And we can recommend a program from you from just about every major option that's out there. And if you choose it and enroll in it, there's no different price in a Medicare solution than you could get if you did it on your own with another agent. But if you did it with us, the advantage is it's the gateway into the benefit protection program. And the benefit protection program works like this. When you get your continuing disability review, or if you get an overpayment, you have access to us. If it's a continuing disability review, you have access to our legal team. We help you understand like what to do, what to file. If it gets denied, then we will work on you with an appeal and we'll submit it to Social Security, just like we are your representative for helping you get approved. If it goes to a hearing, we'll help you there as well. Now, we do this at no charge, and this is the part where you want to listen up and understand why. The insurance companies pay us an incentive or a monthly commission to keep you on your Medicare plan. There's no secrets to that. It's how the insurance industry works. So because we're getting paid, which doesn't cost you anything, because Medicare plans, especially Medicare Part C, has 0 premium. So you pay nothing and we get paid a commission to do it. But it's our incentive to keep you in pay status on your disability benefits so you can have your Medicare benefits. So that's why we offer this additional benefit to you. Now, for those that are in the benefit protection program, there's additional resources. We're in touch with you a few times a year. We have a new feature that's coming up this year called a jam session, where you'll get involved and you can come into a meeting like this with none other than Jam and I in our jam session.
Thank
But
you.
you'll have the opportunity to interact like vocally, like Jam and I do. So it won't just be digital. So it's a place for you to exchange ideas where we can collaborate together and help you get the very best out of your benefit experience. And a shout out to Jam. That was her idea for the jam session. So those are some of the things that we do. Yes. So to recap, when members join us, they have access to a two-part strategy. They have the course where you can do it on your own, step-by-step process, detailed information. Or if you want to have it done for you and follow along with a course, that's great. Or if somebody's doing it for you already, fine. You can use the course, and there's no charge for the course. Folks, there isn't anything else out there that's free that I know of that's on the internet. And it works because you can listen to the testimonials. So I hope that you find value in this in getting approved at the core. I truly feel, I've always felt this way, that if you want to do this on your own and you want to go through and get approved, great. We'd love to have you come back and help you enroll you in the benefit protection program and manage your healthcare for you. So, Jam, that was a lot of words that I just put out. So I want to take a break, see if we have any questions that are out there.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, it was my first time seeing I guess our social security disability approval course version 2.0. And
Mhm.
I must say you have done a great job, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And you've covered probably because most of the members ask come in here and ask me. I have been asked this question a lot of times now.
Mhm.
They ask if the membership is free, how does your service generate revenue and how is it effective for me?
Okay.
Oh,
So two-part question. Let's go with the revenue one first. We represent like 15, 20 disability cases a month. And we win. I don't publicly state what our numbers is because I just don't want to be that guy. But we win a lot of them. And so we get paid for doing that. We also have other revenue sources. We do the Medicare insurance work. And then we have a very active YouTube channel that we are in a partnership program with YouTube that pays us for our videos. Those are the three primary revenue sources. And if anybody else out there has any other ideas, I'm all ears. So we're not relying on, well, we are relying on government money when we get a case approved. So that's how we make all of this work, and we're able to do this freemium model where we can give away a lot of information. Actually, we give away everything. So,
mhm.
oh, what was the second question? Oh, is it effective?
Yeah.
I tell you, it's not effective if you don't use it. It is the same. The disability approval course is at the core of the same information that we use to get cases approved. There are things that our team knows that we've learned that are just not teachable, resources we have access to that you don't. But when you look at the disability approval course, it is put together with, in my opinion, some very respectable industry. I don't know if I will want to use icons, but Jonathan Ginsburg and Carl Osterhow, they've been doing this work for a long time, and they were very generous in their information that they provided. So it's not the world according to Brian. Actually, very little of the course is provided by me for that reason. And then you'll also learn a lot from the members that have been approved in the success stories. So if you take that information and you learn it and apply it, it will work for you as it has for others. I just can only speak from confidence.
Right. Thank you for answering that. Also, this is the top two question. If you have just been out of work, so is it better to apply right after you quit your job or wait?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And a lot of people are anxious to apply right away. So this has been my experience. Is Social Security has a 5-month elimination period. And we have looked at what has happened to cases that we used to apply for their disability benefits like month 1, 2, or 3. And their approval was really low. And then I have an advisor that I work with, Attorney James Mitchell Brown, who's actually going to be coming out in May to speak to us about some very hot topics. So stay tuned for live. And he's like, you know what? He says, I've worked with others and we have the same issue. The approval percentages are like single digits between months 1 and 5. So what we have learned to do is if somebody wants us to do the work for them, then we will work on it, collect all the information and do everything, but we will submit the application after month 5, because after month 5, those approval percentages go up radically, like 4 times, 5 times. So I don't have the only reasoning that we can like try to get our arms around is that if you think about the concept of disability, you're just out of work and you're proving that you cannot work, right?
Right.
And Social Security is like, this person just stopped working. Now, okay, if you had a major stroke, and well, even with a stroke, even if it's definitive that you're going to lose total mobility in your left side, stroke patients still recover. So it's just for Social Security, they're in the business of denying cases, and that's really what it comes down to. So if you're going to do it on your own, I would, if you want to get approved and maximize your chances at initial, don't file till at least month 6.
Right. Okay, so shall we begin with the live questions?
I have one more thought on that, actually. Sorry.
Okay.
If you have a case that's going to go to hearing, like if you're a 40-something-year-old and those cases are really difficult to get approved at initial application, in a situation like that, if you don't have physical impairments that are definitive, then that one could say, all right, well, I'm not going to get approved at initial anyway, so I might as well just go for it because it'll shorten my time frame to get to a hearing. That's the only exception to the rule. Okay.
All right. So first here's one from Saint PR. Hello, what exactly happens of the non-medical at step 4 after you had your hearing with the judge?
What happens with the non-medical
Non-medical.
after you have the hearing with the judge?
Mhm.
I don't understand the question. So the non-medical would be like they're checking your work
Work
credits,
history. Mhm.
work history. Let's see. I don't know what to say other than that, because if they've let a case go all the way to hearing for Social Security disability benefits and they haven't checked your work credits, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot for you on that one.
Okay. All right. I applied in November and was denied in February, and
Yep.
I appealed and still waiting. How long does it take for the reconsideration?
That's a tough one. I mean, as a general rule, I'd say about as long as your initial application decision, because it's done in the same office.
Right. Okay. And I just got a short form CDR letter in the mail in February. Just got a letter back saying that we were going to review your case, but we decided not to contact your doctors at this time. What does that mean?
Don't know. Is there any other action, like if they are going to go another route? To me, it sounds pretty positive that if they were going to dig into your case, they're going to contact your doctors. But that's just speculation.
So does that mean the benefits will continue until the next review?
Well, the benefits will continue until you receive notification that they've stopped, or they will stop. Yeah, and those
Okay.
notifications, they could stop them, like, seen them like 30 days notice, 60 days notice, they're gonna stop benefits.
All right. A representative started a final review to make sure that you still meet the non-medical requirements. Does this mean I passed the medical requirements?
That's usually good news because the medical is the most difficult. So if they're just looking at your work history, if you worked enough to get a check, that's good news in my opinion.
All right. Here's one from Jiga. Brian, are you aware of any programs that help with the rental assistance or Section 8 vouchers? The Center for Independent Living help with this.
They could, I know, like, in the local one in Vermont, they provide some rental assistance. So I would start there. We also have resources to help you survive. That has different resources that could be in the county, resources that are available. So, if if you have the ability, and I know you're the one that's multitasking, but if we could put that in the show notes, that would be great.
Okay. CIL.
Well, it would be the resources to survive. Actually, let me see
Okay.
if I can find it while you're going through the questions.
Got
Um,
that. Okay. I have it. All right. So next
okay.
question. Yeah. Still
Well,
working in good health, been on the job for 39 years. Sorry, go on. Are
no,
you there?
that was noise on my computer, so you can
Oh,
continue.
okay. Still working in good health, been on the job for 39 years, 63 years old now. Can I start Social Security at age 66 and work until 67?
Okay, I want to make sure I get it. On the job for 39 years. And the
Mm-hmm.
age is what?
63,
And wants to start Social Security when?
age 66 and work until 67.
Okay. Actually, I just put a video out this week about um, getting when you can get 100%. So you, it's 67 is likely your full retirement age. If you took Social Security at 66, you'd take a hit. And that video will help you understand it. I'll get that for you and put it in the notes. Good thing that you're healthy. 39 years is impressive on
All
the
right.
job. Yeah, doing anything for 39 years. Um, okay.
Okay. All right. Here's one from Tess C374. Brian, I truly appreciate you. You have helped me so much with how to still get medical coverage.
Hey, I appreciate that. Keeps me going. It's
All
not
right.
just me. We've got a group of wonderful, talented people here. Okay, so I'm going to be putting in the chat, it'll say full benefits with a video link. And then, of course, watch it after the show so you don't miss any of the good stuff that's coming up.
Okay.
What's
Can you
next,
keep
Jim?
uh-huh. Can you keep Medicaid instead of going on Medicare?
Well, you do need to take Medicare. When you are Medicare eligible, that's one of the criteria, right?
All right.
So there's a bunch of nuances that are there. If you do it right, then you can keep your Medicaid and you can get your Medicare and get additional benefits. Like, so especially if you're dual eligible, like right now they have these flex cards for dual eligible where you can get $175, $250 a month that you can use for rent, for electricity, for groceries, is like, and a bunch of other benefits. So you would definitely, I'll say this, you should definitely explore getting everything and not being limited to just Medicaid.
Okay. I'm waiting for a decision with my case. I have eliminated my representation. I am in my 12th month, hoping to get approved. I have been watching every broadcast of the Disability Digest. Thank you. That is Perry Stair.
Perry, request the new version of the course. If you haven't spoke with an advocate, we'll get it started to you for you and hopefully help you. If you want to do this on your own, max your chances, right?
All right.
So at the end of the show, Jim, or put a link into the Disability Digest. It's as easy as just updating your membership if you have one, or starting one if you don't. That's the
Done.
game. Yeah,
Okay, I already put it in there.
great.
Here's one from Warren Davis. Hi, Warren. Do I have to wait until I receive notice of a CDR before I can receive the benefit protection program? I've tried to request info from the website, but can't seem to get past the membership questions.
Okay, so no. In order to get into the benefit protection program, you need to be Medicare eligible and then enroll in a plan that we mutually decide is going to be beneficial for you. That's the gateway to get in. And then if you're a member and you got an email, for example, to this invite, just reply back to it with your question, because that'll go to the support desk. That's the best way to contact us. Yep.
All right. I appealed over. Right, I don't understand the question. I'm just gonna skip to the next one. I got a fully favorable decision March 23rd and still haven't gotten award letter.
Well, how do you know you got a fully favorable then? If you didn't get an award letter?
Hmm. No
That,
follow-up yet.
yeah.
Okay, what if I already filled out all my paperwork and turn it before I join your course?
Well, I mean, one example, let's say that you filled in all of your paperwork to apply for disability and you're waiting. Unless you are approved, there is a segment of the disability approval course that's going to maximize your chances. I haven't met anybody in the time that I've been doing this for 17 years and 192,000 people that I've gone through and assessed their situation, and they've filled out the forms properly. They have all the medical evidence in place. They have written doctor support. They just don't know to do these things. So I'm going to say this. I'm 99.76% certain that there is information in the course that will max your chances of getting approved.
All right. Here's one from Bob. What would an automotive mechanic be listed under?
I don't know. Like, for disability, like what kind of work would that be? It wouldn't be sedentary. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, if you could provide a little more detail, that would be helpful.
Okay. Here's from Chris. Appealed an overpayment online. Will SSA have the status on my online account?
I don't know. I don't know. I have not been asked that. My hunch is no, because it's for the approval process. But if you find out, let us know. Good luck with your overpayment.
All
Oh,
right.
Attorney James Brown is gonna be here. I think it's like the third Wednesday in May and we're gonna talk about overpayments. And we're gonna talk about continuing disability reviews. And we're gonna talk about the new surveillance that Social Security is doing on recipients. So that is one event you wanna mark your calendars for. Yeah. I think it's the 2017 and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 24th.
Mhm. All right. My status is at stage 4 for non-medical, but I have my hearing a month ago. Statement.
Stage 4 for non-medical, but I had a hearing a month ago. I'm not familiar with that stage 4 terminology. After a hearing, what I'm familiar with is the judge will say, we are looking for this evidence and name it specifically. Are you looking in your online account and it's showing that? I don't know that terminology at stage 4.
Okay.
Been stumped twice today. It's a good bunch of questions.
Okay. I am in the initial application step. I'm told I contacted Social Security to file for SSI as well just recently, and my local office called me for a phone screen and gave me my onset date and the amount. My Social Security would pay and my cost of living increased. I'm at 61% and have been receiving benefits for local social services and been found exempt from any work requirements.
All right, that's more of a statement, right?
Hmm.
What-
Okay. Mhm.
Go ahead.
All right. Do SSDI judges take into account that work comp and now also OPM for disability retired deemed me unable to do my recent jobs?
Yeah, it will influence your case. Yeah. But it's mostly medical evidence. Like if you've gone to a work comp doctor, their medical influence is going to be different than your primary care, your pain management. That's the real key evidence.
All right. And also, for the live viewers, I kindly requested to refrain from spamming. Rest assured that we will address your questions in a respectful manner. Thank you, guys.
That was a nice public service announcement, Jim.
Thank you. If your case goes to a hearing and the judge denies SSA approval, would you lose your work credits after waiting 2 years? And would you start all over with the work credits?
You don't lose your work credits. Let me address it this way. Your work credits are in place for 5 years, typically after you stop working. So let's say you start your disability application 6 months and it takes you go to a hearing and it goes to 3 years. So you've been 3 years, you've got 2 more left on your eligibility. So you have enough time to start another disability application with your insured status in place. That doesn't change. When it does change is when you get beyond the 5 years. It goes away. You lose access to your disability check. So that's a good question.
All right. Okay. Mm, Follow up from Alan. It has me locked out of my SSA. Do you think that is a good thing? I got a decision letter, but not award letter.
Well,
His
uh,
question. Mhm.
okay, decision letter, my hunch is you went to a hearing, you got a decision letter. If it says fully favorable, that's good news. Then the next step is you're gonna get an award letter. Um, yeah, I am encouraged about that. I have not seen an instance where you receive a fully favorable decision letter and then do not get your benefits paid.
All right. Is the Social Security doing surveillance on applicants or those who've been approved? What kind of surveillance online or sitting outside your house from Giga?
The surveillance, I know that it starts, it can be done at any level. But I'm mostly familiar with it when your case gets up into the hearing level, from the time that you go to a hearing to the time that you are after you're approved. And as you'll learn in a few weeks, they're getting more and more creative, using different techniques to do this. So
Okay. Here's one from Pink Butterfly. I'm 59. I get SSD. Can I work? How much can I make?
yes, good question, Pink Butterfly. I like that. I've got a really good visual on it right now. You can work and keep your benefits. The amount that you're allowed to make is $1,050 a month as a disability recipient. If you stay under that, then it will have no impact on your benefits. And this has been covered in multiple events that we have. We can put the how much you can make link in the chat, so you can have that. I am a big proponent of working and supplementing your disability income. I think it's good for your bank account, it's good for contribution society, but it's really good for just the sense of contribution.
Okay. I had a stroke in November 2022 and waiting for a decision. The neurologist marked me off work infinite. Will I be approved?
Really difficult because it's not the conditions that get you approved. It is the limitations. I mean, like for stroke victims, it could be, you could be predicted to have a full recovery. So that's really difficult based on the information that you have. It's possible, but I'm not able to be certain. The only way that we could be certain is if, we had a conversation with you and we're, got into it. For Pink Butterfly, I'm in the process of putting in the chat. Oh, I don't think I can put that many characters in here. So I'm in the process of putting the how much you can make.
I could have done that.
I don't want you to have to do everything, Jim. I know you could, but
Thank you, Brian. Okay. Here's a follow-up from Patrick. They gave me what I would get from SSD and all the details. I have 6 exempt letters from Social Security saying I am disabled. And the SSI contact told me not to bother filing for SSI. I should hear my determination soon.
good. We hope it's positive.
All right. Okay. Here's from Jasmine. Are the chances with the same, I mean, are the chances the same with a phone hearing versus in person? Which is better? I'm waiting for either since January.
Yeah, I mean, we've had comparable approval results, and so have others. I'm in a networking group with 77 other, I think it's 77 other disability representatives. And it's been comparable. One thing to think about is, and this was at least a couple months ago, if you go to a hearing and you go into a hearing office, you are behind glass with a mask, and the judge has a mask on. It's still super like COVID sensitive. So they don't have a real good visual on you because you're not close to each other and you can't see your face. Now, of course, on the phone, you don't have the ability to see each other, but there are video hearings now that are being done. And those do offer you the ability to stay in the comfort of your own home. But ultimately, what it comes down to is evidence and what is in your medical files and the proof that you have. And so if you have a good case, you've done your work, you followed our steps in the course, or you have a representative that's done the work for you, then you'll be fine.
All right. Here's clarification from Warren. To clarify, how can I check to see if I have membership established with your site? Whenever I go to login, I'm taken to the initial membership questionnaire, even though I've completed it a while back. I guess he's asking for a login.
No, there isn't a login. So for you to find out if you're a member here, or you send an email to support at the Disability Digest and just say, I'd like to confirm my membership. Yeah.
Okay. Can you win just on back spondylolisthesis in the record?
Spondylosis. Don't know. Again, it's not the condition that you have. Like I could have spondylosis or jam, God forbid.
Yeah.
And it's
Knock
going
on
to
wood.
be the severity of that condition. How severe is it? And how is it limiting you? I mean, can you still run 5 miles with spondylosis? Maybe Jam can, but I can't, for example. So, and is it being treated? Have you done everything to be treated for that condition? And then can you prove it? Can you point that you've been treated and you've got the limitations? So when people say, I have this, I have that, I mean, that again, that's one of the biggest challenges with the process. It's not the condition. It's the severity of it, the limitations, treatment, etc.
Okay. Do you have to go to the doctor and the judge?
I expect when they say the doctor, Jim, you think they're saying like the independent medical exam for Social Security?
I believe so.
Yeah. 72% of the people go. Not everybody.
All right. From Jiga, should there be concerns when working that Medicaid, QMB, and food stamps will be cut, along with the inability to afford medications?
Yeah, but just one other thing. The second part of that question was the judge. And no, not everybody goes to the judge. If you do your job right and get approved at the initial application, then you don't go to the judge. So then this most recent question is about earning money and on Medicaid and how it will impact resources, right? That's a case by case situation because there's a lot of variables there. They use this deeming factor, like what your benchmark is, what are your current resources? If you earn extra, how will that impact it? So the answer to the question, general question would be, yes, it could impact your resources, and you would need to contact like Social Security, unfortunately, or you could contact a benefit planner if they have a good one at your local center for independent living and say, listen, here's my situation. I'm interested in making this amount of money and I don't want to have it impact my benefits. Now, there's some, other little hidden things that you can do. Like there's an account called the Stable account that we profiled on our YouTube channel, where you can earn money and the money goes directly into the Stable account and it doesn't have any impact on your resources. I also heard that you can do that with Express Direct. If the money goes onto that debit card, then it's not deemed as a resource. So that one I'm not so sure about because I heard that from a member. But the Stable account is the real deal. And there is some criteria for when your condition started, etc. But in that Stable account, you can put in there up to $101,000, a lot of money, with having zero impact on your SSI benefits. Pretty cool.
All right, follow up from Heather on her question earlier. She had a stroke in November 2022 and is waiting for a decision. Right side affected, can't lift more than 3 pounds with the right arm, walk with a limp, anxiety disorder, depression, carpal tunnel in both wrists, a diabetic, no driving, balance is off.
Okay, let's drill down on this one a little bit. Can you ask what is it that you did for work and for how long?
Okay, we'll wait for her answer. I will just proceed with the next question from Jim. I was approved for SSDI about 3 years ago. I've recently noticed that I have $170 removed from my monthly benefit for medical payments. I am already on Medicare and have a Part C insurance plan. Why? Why is my benefit being reduced?
I expect it's being reduced by the Part B premium, which is Jam. $160 and how many cents?
Give me 1 second. You put me on the spot.
Something like that. No, I did it because I've been getting my digits wrong. So I expect that you're having that taken out of your account. And if it's not familiar, if it's new and it's just started being taken out of your account, then something's going on there, because it could have been that you were on Medicare, Medicaid, and your state was paying for that, but either something went wrong or your resources changed and now they're not paying for that. Or the recent COLA increased your check so that you're out of that bracket. But that amount that you're mentioning is
Okay, the
right,
amount is 164.90.
$160.90. Right. So if
Yep.
that's the exact amount, that's what's going on. Here at the Disability Digest for members, we offer a benefit review. You can fill out a form. Somebody will contact you, review your benefits, see if they can help you pinpoint that and other things that you might be paying for that you don't need to, or what you might be entitled to for extra benefits.
Okay, follow up from Jim. It's not new.
Not new. All right. There are other ways to reduce it. I mean, there are Medicare Advantage plans that have buybacks where they'll pay you or reduce your Part B premium, $75 to $125, or you can get a flex card that you can use for other expenses. So encourage you to review your benefits, see what options are available for you. And you can learn how to do that by following information on the YouTube channel or request to have it done here with your membership. Again, there's no charge for that.
Okay. Follow up from Heather, merchandiser, 2 years.
Merchandiser, 2 years. Okay, so that's a tough one. Let me put it this way. If you have the same type of work for, say, 15 years or more, and your stroke that you have, those limitations are going to be in place for more than a year, then the premise of your approval process or your case strategy or theory is that Heather can no longer do that type of work. I'm not familiar with like merchandising, but my visual right now is that you're spending some time the front facing with clients. You may have travel involved, some administrative work, and that those tasks that are involved in that you're not able to do. So that now, if you're over 50, that would apply. If you're under 50, folks need to prove that they can't do any work, like a greeter at Walmart or a ticket taker at a movie theater. So you could be a doctor that is not able to work, but you have to prove to get your benefits that you can't do any work.
All right. Here's one from Robot. I'm sorry. Corey first. Arthritis has affected my ability to walk, sit, and stand, and I am 53 years old. Will I fall under the grid rule?
Maybe. There's other variables in the grid rule, like the grid rule is based on the type of work also that you've done.
Skills and education.
Yep, and education, so it's possible. But the grid rule mostly is effective when you go to a hearing. And if you do your initial application and put a grid rule in there and it goes into the state disability office, they're just not trained to do that. A grid argument is when you're in court and your attorney goes through the different variables and say, okay, this grid ruling, that's the language and when it's used.
Okay. Here's one from Jiga. Is the stable account available for someone in their 40s or 50s?
I just want to give an important timeout and a shout out and a hello to Mr. Philip Price, who's out there in the audience today.
Hey,
Hi,
Philip.
Philip.
Thank you for watching.
Yes. All right. I lost my train of thought. What was the question again?
About stable account. Is it available for someone in their 40s and 50s?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Search the YouTube channel, watch the info on it, and then the phone number's in there to give them a call, and they answer their phone. Unlike Social Security, you can talk to them.
Oh, so Philip is watching with a Facebook group.
Yay!
That's nice. Okay, here's one from Robot. Hello, I've been on SS disability for almost 5 years. I won after being denied and finding a disability representative who believed in my case. Um, I'm on disability since 2018. I was approved with the help of disability representative. Then I was reviewed in 2021. I was still entitled to the legal representation and did win my review. So part
Yes.
two, next time I am reviewed, I will not have the backup of my legal representative. My possibly paranoid question is, does disability know this? And will they try to deny me because I won't have representation?
I don't know how they're gonna know that you have representation or not. Yeah, good question. Listen, we're open for business and would be glad to help you if the benefit protection program is a fit for you.
Mhm. All right, and I already sent the link on the chat.
Okay.
Okay, how hard is it to get SSDI from working for 44 years and getting sick from the COVID and having arthritis?
How hard is it? Yeah. How do I answer that one? How would you answer it, Jim?
I would answer it's not just conditions, but limitations, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I'll say this. There's a lot of people that fall into the category of having all of the right criteria to be approved. And they approach it like, it's kind of like a lottery where they'll just put their information in and hope they win. And that mentality is, is difficult. I met this unfortunate story, but I'll share it with folks. John Green, this member here, rest in peace. He was on Long Island, had stage 4 cancer, and he did just that. He applied. Somebody gave him the advice to apply. And he got denied at his initial application, and he came to us, and he was sick, and they've been sitting on his case for a while. So we, we started working with him, but he passed like within a very short period of time. So here's the situation. Guy applied for disability benefits, stage 4 cancer. He had it when he applied, and he didn't get approved. So that's a drastic one, and that happens. Unfortunately, I don't see it the other way, where people that have light conditions, they apply and they also get there. I just don't. So point is, to kind of circle back on this, for the work that I do, because I've been at this for a while, it's easier for me because I see the patterns and I see what certain situations and cases can get approved. But not only that, you've got to be a good applicant and somebody to work with. It's definitely a business transaction. So when people just say it's conditions, I mean, there's a lot more to it than just that to get through the process. You need to have all the boxes, and maybe you're not the person that's going to be responsible, and your conditions don't allow you to process and fill out the forms and be responsive and all that. If not, you've got to find somebody to get on your team that will help you to do it. So
Okay. How do I opted for a phone hearing, hoping it would be the faster choice. Doesn't seem to be the case. Average wait time for hearing.
yeah, so the step 4 in our course has a hearing preparation course that teaches you what to do and what not to do. Part of that, when you start the course, is it shows you how to look at your local hearing office and estimate the time when your hearing would be. And it's pretty accurate. Like, you might miss it by a month or two either side. So that would be helpful. In addition to that, it'll help you understand like what goes on at a hearing and the questions that you're going to be asked, how you should reply to those, how the earlier information in your case is going to be helpful. So I would encourage you to take advantage of that. Even if you're using a disability attorney, non-attorney at your hearing, there's information in there that will allow you to learn more, hold them accountable, make sure they're doing their job.
Okay. All right. Here's from Kim. With regard to working, if you make under the amount you mentioned, do you still have to let Social Security know you're working?
Yeah, your
Yes.
award letter clearly says that if you do any work, let them know.
Right. How hard is it to get approved when having Bell's palsy and keratoconus in both eyes, causing you not to be able to see?
Yeah, we've had a similar pattern of questions about conditions that I've
Right.
answered
Mm-hmm.
for this. So I'll speak again because I don't want to ignore it. That it
Mm-hmm.
is not possible to determine if you're going to get approved based on your conditions. There's a variety of other factors: treatment, severity, limitations,
Medical evidence.
your age, your work history.
Right. I'm 21, went straight up to college right after high school and was never able to work or finish college. Is there anything I need to help with my case? I'm on my own and feel overwhelmed,
Yeah,
lost in the process.
right. Well, first of all, I would check your online account with Social Security to see if you qualify for a Social Security disability check. That would be one. Because that's based on your work history. If you don't, then you would be applying for SSI welfare. And it's a similar medical approval process, but it would be good to know because there's assets involved in that. And it may be that, if you're wherever you're living or what your assets are, if they would allow you to do that. So that would be the first thing. But the medical piece is going to be the same. You have to prove that you're not able to work. And you're right, 21, tough, hard to get approved when you're young. They're looking at paying you money for the rest of your life. Right, so. All right,
All
let's take
right.
a couple more, Jim. You're doing great.
Thanks. I believe you have answered this question, Brian, but he answered it once again. From Bob, what would an automotive mechanic job be listed under?
Yeah, I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I don't know what the question is when you say listed under, like, are you referring to the type of work like sedentary, light, heavy, that type of question? Or it's not clear to me how to answer that.
All right. I have an autoimmune cardiac disease in remission. I'm 56. Will they do a CDR in 5 to 7 years?
Will they do it? I expect they will. There was 64-year-olds that have been getting reviews. So you'll be reviewed up until you're 65 is what I tell people to expect. The probability decreases the older you get. They're going to be definitely chasing people that are younger.
Okay. Bob answered yes.
Yes, for the work.
Yep.
After all of that, I don't know how that exactly sits. I know it's not going to be sedentary work. I expect it's going to be either light or heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if did you
Automotive
have to lift
mechanic.
more
Yeah.
than 50 pounds? If you did, then that would put it at heavy.
Okay. Skilled or unskilled?
Skilled.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Unskilled
Or
would be like, okay, I work on an assembly line and a box comes down the assembly line and there's 5 of these in a tray and I have to pick the 5 of these up and put them into the box and then put it back on the tray.
right. Okay. Hi, is the MBIWD stands for Medicaid buy-in for workers with disabilities?
I don't know. That's number what, 4 that I don't know.
All right. Is it something I should be concerned about? I got a letter yesterday and don't know why I got it since I'm not working a regular job.
MBI,
WD.
don't know. If you're a member here, send in the letter to us. Take a look at it.
Yeah, so it
Maybe.
stands for Medicaid buy-in for workers with disabilities.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
SSI recipient since Medicaid.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take one more and we're going to wrap up. Last question.
Right. Okay. I want to know also if approved and you get back pay, is it okay for you to start paying off debts all at once or pay them off at a time, one at a time?
You can pay them off all at once, and that's a great idea to do that, for sure. Yep, I like your thinking. What you do with your money when you get approved for disability is, it's really your own deal. There isn't any any asset like influence like it would be if it's SSI and they're looking at your resources. So there has been some really good questions. My self-reflection is I get stumped 4 times, which is wonderful because I always like to learn stuff. So I thank you all for participating. Jim, thank you for your help. Philip,
Of
shout out
course.
to you again. So we put some links for you in the chat. If you're going through the approval process, maximizing your chances, join us or update your membership. And we will get you the appropriate segment of the disability approval course and the related condition information to help you get approved. And once again, reminder, there will be no live event next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Right? If you joined us late, you can catch the replay. It'll be available usually in like an hour after the show. Did I miss anything, Jam?
No, thank you for watching, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. Make it a great day. Until the next time. Thanks so much.
Bye.